Welcome back to another episode of Lights Camera Rant, ladies and gentlemen. And for this particular episode, we are going to be looking at the winners and losers for the 2023 Gaming Awards. And for this particular episode, I had to get a very special guests all together. We've got the boys from Who's Got the Next Game, Who's Got the Next Game right here, right now. Nice, stuffed up terribly. Anyway,
good.
Yay, we got us all here.
Yeah, all in one go. How are we going,
We
boys?
made it.
We're going
What's
good.
going on? What's going on? Lee, it's awesome to be back.
Glad to have you guys here. I could not think of a better guests to get on to tackle this major event that's just happened, which, as we were just talking about before we started this episode, there's a lot of WTF and a lot of oh, that was well deserved, and a lot of okay, cool. See you soon.
Like a lot of golf clap, like
Yeah.
It's an award show. I mean, if you've ever seen anything, award show, there's always stuff like that. As a soccer fan, it reminds me of like the draws for tournaments. Very like, what are we doing here? And kind of let's get to the point,
Mm.
The one thing it missed, though, that the draws for like soccer does have is sex noises. I don't know if any of you saw this, but for the Euros draw, someone pranked the Euros and had a phone hidden underneath the stage, called it, and there was porn noises coming through it on the live broadcast for the whole world to see. And honestly, if the Gaming Awards had that, I think it'd push it that much over the top. But
I think people would be more into it.
I think so too. I think we're like, oh, there'll be a lot more eyes onto it. And as I said the other, sex sells.
It does.
But before we dive into this episode, we've got one thing to kick off first, which we all know always comes up first.
Welcome to the Light, Camera, Rant Podcast. Your source for the latest on movies, TV shows, and video games. Get ready for ranting, raving, and reviewing. Here is your host, Lee.
So you guys just dropped your season 2. You guys just dropped
season
your
2. Season 2 is officially live as of yesterday.
Yeah. That's awesome. You guys are going your season 2. What have you guys got involved? What's coming up?
Well,
A lot of really fun. I was gonna say, go ahead, Connor.
Well, the first episode is just kind of us getting back into the swings of things. Me and Charles went to the Gaming Expo here in Phoenix, so we kind of talk about that and kind of talk about Nintendo. And then we have a couple filler episodes, I would say, talking about like gaming music. But the big thing that we're doing right now that's kind of going to be going throughout the entire season is a March Madness style tournament with games. So Ty, if you want to explain that.
Yeah, I mean, our first couple episodes, like Connor said, just some filler stuff, but the main course of our whole season this year is March Madness. So we decided to take Charles, Connor, and I, we had a meeting and kind of talked about, like what consoles do we all know very well? Or at least 2 out of the 3 of us know. And so we came up with, I think it was a list of 11 different consoles, including arcade. And we made a March Madness bracket, and we voted and made our own list for our top 8 games. Just top 8, no criteria for it. Our personal top 8 games for each console. Then we took that and made another top 8 list based on all 3 of our lists. So we kind of talked through, hey, okay, for example, for the Wii, Mario Kart for the Wii, I had it ranked, I think, first. Somebody else had it ranked like second. Somebody else had it ranked first. And we were like, okay, we can universally agree that that's probably going to be our number 1 seed. And so we created a whole bracket, and we make arguments and debates. And the bracket is based on what games are the most fun to play with your buddies on the couch, just hanging out.
So it's not the best game. It's not what the critics say is a 9 out of 10, 95%. It's what we decide, hey, if we're going to bust this out, let's say we're 15 again, we're having a sleepover, and, we're going to stay up all night. What's going to be the best game for all of us to play together? And we
You
whittle
can
it
have
down.
a sleepover when you're older than 15, first of all.
I know. It just kind of sounds
15,
weird.
it's
Okay.
not a sleepover. It's not a sleepover.
But saying an adult sleepover implies other things. If
It does. I agree. Hey, but sex sells.
If you're having a guys' night,
yeah, guys.
That's fair. Yeah, guys' night.
Thank you, Charles. Thank
That
you
would
for
be the
finding-
adult way of saying it.
Yeah, the adult way. But yeah, so and they're seeded accordingly. Like the 8th seed, the lowest seed plays the first one, and then it goes into
So on and so forth.
so on and so forth until we get the best game of that. And then when we're all done throughout all the consoles, then the best games of each console are going to face each other until we get a final game. That is the best game to play with your buddies.
I can't wait until that episode drops. I'm so curious to know. I was saying this yesterday. I was so curious to know what is going to be your top pick.
And honestly, it kind of surprises us. There's a couple.
Yeah.
We've recorded about 2 or 3 episodes so far, and there's been some upsets already. Little spoilers. Not going to tell you which consoles, just to give so then we don't give that away. But yeah, it'll
Just
probably
to
make
give-
some people mad.
Just to give you guys an idea, the consoles were basically any of the stuff that we had a lot of familiarity with. So we had Xbox 360, Wii, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1, Nintendo Switch. So it was a mixture of different consoles and different eras. We have a couple handheld stuff. I think it's Game Boy Advanced and Nintendo DS.
Yep.
And then we did arcade cabinets as well. So we're going to have a mix of stuff. So it's not just going to be, Microsoft versus Nintendo versus Sony. We're throwing in, arcade cabinets from back in the day.
Everything.
Yes.
Well,
And Lee, I was going to say, you actually saw the bracket. We actually
yes,
sent it out to you. So you actually got to fill one out.
Yes, and I appreciate that. And I would say that the hardest was PlayStation bracket. That was I was like, oh, just trying to pick which ones to go. I was like, fuck, that was the hardest for me. Everything else was pretty easy. It was just I found the hardest to pick from. So I'm so curious to know what the end result's going to be.
And
No,
we've had a
it's
lot of
def-
fun
it's
recording
definitely
it
cool.
too.
Yeah. But no, I'm glad to see you guys are back with season 2. As always, you guys smash it with every single episode, and you go with this cooking. I have no doubt you guys are going to get some great numbers.
We hope so. I mean, we want to get the numbers that you're getting, man, because we've been seeing, how well your channel's been doing, and we feel proud that we've got to see you grow, and just how well you're doing. It's really cool to see, dude.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I was looking back because you're obviously looking back at YouTube analytics this time last year. And I think this time last year I was only on, I think 90 or 100 subscribers, give or take.
Mm.
And I can't believe, 12 months later we're at 7K.
And just goes to a testament
It's
of
great
hard work,
pacing.
Man, thank God for shorts. Thank God.
Oh,
But you guys will not be far behind.
we'll see. We're slow.
Yeah.
We're slow going, but I think we're happy with where we're at. We're just doing this for fun, honestly. It's kind of just keeping us in contact. We're just friends talking about games that we played.
It's 3 dudes just reminiscing on the good old days.
It's kind of what it is.
I'm trying
it's
to
still
teach these
good.
young kiddos what the old school games used to be like.
Yeah.
When it was good.
Yeah,
Nah,
and multiplayer. I would say multiplayer.
Hey, stories were pretty good too, man.
Mm.
There's
Some of them
there's
were.
stories out there that creme de la crop.
Right at the top. Well, you gotta remember, we got something this week that kind of reminds us how old we all are and how old we are going to be when it also drops as well, when it comes out. Because we got the brand new Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer this week, which, yes, that time.
Finally.
But at the same time, I did see someone post a meme of like how old they were when each game's come out. I'm like, oh, that hurts.
It hurts.
That hurts.
It hurts.
Oh.
I mean, the fact that the last one dropped when me, Ty, and Charles were all in high school, and the fact that we're all now adults with like rent to pay and mortgages, and we might be even older. Who knows? There could be kids in the mix, come that time. Like,
Could be.
it's crazy to me. But I'm glad that it's coming finally, because you can only do DLC for so long for a game. That's what I say.
Oh, well, when it keeps making more money than its release.
Mhm. You'd be surprised how many DLCs you can throw out there and people will buy.
Yeah.
But still, like, again, it's been 10 years. That's my thing. 10 years of DLC, like, a child born then is probably playing the game now with the DLC,
I
That's crazy.
I know. That's the scary thing to think of, is that the people that may not have been old enough to play Grand Theft Auto 5 will be old enough to play it now.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer got more views than the entire original Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer got. And its
only been
entire
a couple days.
lifespan.
That's crazy.
That's how
And
hype
it also
is.
beat Mr. Beast's record too, of the highest viewed non-music video in 24 hours.
That's crazy.
I mean, again, it's been 10 years of hype. I mean, all the memes I see is, when Grand Theft Auto drops, GTA 6 drops, and then, just something about, how much time it's been.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys have actually looked at the comments, but there's a lot of comments about death. There's a lot of comments about
I was gonna
RIP
say.
for all the boys that will be passed by the time this game drops.
I have seen that of like, it's kind of sad. Like, it's kind of like, people talking about, their friends who, are no longer with them. And like, it's something that's so hyped and well-deserved is now like so, I don't know, nostalgic. So, yeah, I don't know what the word is, but
it's interesting because you still look at Red Dead now, which is not too old, but still looks 10 times better than some of the games that get dropped today. And it's right. Every time a Rockstar game comes out, it's more of an event. Like, it's an actual full event when a game drops. And I think the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer really showed that there was people tweeting, there was game creators that were tweeting about watching the trailer. There was random people that wouldn't even talk about Grand Theft Auto 6 is talking about this game.
and off a 1 minute trailer. That's the crazy part. It's just a 1 minute.
1 minute.
And
60 seconds worth brought so many people to one conversation.
I mean, political commentators, like over here in America, we have Ben Shapiro, that dumbass, but he was talking about GTA 6. Like, that's just how big this franchise is, and I guess how much the hype is built for this, iteration of the game.
I'm curious to know kind of like how they go about doing the story. You know what I mean? I'm wondering if they're going to just make a brand new story altogether. Or are they going to make a continuation? Yeah. Are they going to reference the old character? Like, what are they going to do? That's what I'm the most excited about.
Well, it looks like they're obviously doing a Bonnie and Clyde story. Yeah. And it obviously is being set in modern day. I love the fact they're going back to Vice City Like,
Yeah.
That's just going to make it look so gorgeous of a game, as we saw in the trailer. And I did actually see someone comment, was like, will there be any reference to I can't believe it was the main character from Vice City, voiced by Ray Liotta, which unfortunately he did pass away, if there'll be any reference to that. And Lance.
We'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with, just, I think I was saying this before, but just how lived in and how much thought has gone into the building of, the city and stuff. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that's right, because obviously the map's meant to be bigger again.
It's essentially South Florida, like from Fort Lauderdale, I think, all the way to Key West, which, if you don't know, is the tiny islands kind of off the coast of Florida that go into the Caribbean, all the way up to Fort Lauderdale, which is
picture on Twitter. Yeah, there's a picture going around saying like the size compared to GTA 5 to GTA 6, it's like 3, 4, 5 times bigger, something like that.
Which makes sense.
Which will be
for the weight, especially if they're going to go into as much detail as I think they will with just everything, whether it be NPCs or missions.
Well, it has to be. It has to be. You can't go smaller. No way. How many people will be pissed if you go smaller?
They will be.
Yeah. But also, like, consoles now these days can handle that much bigger of games and whatnot as well.
Well, that's right. How much is this going to push, PlayStation 5 and Xbox?
Do you think that it might be released as an exclusive to PlayStation 5? Like they're going to be like, listen, this is
play it
too
on
big for PlayStation 4?
Oh yeah,
they can't. Nah, no way. It's good. The PlayStation 4 is going to be able to handle this. If Cyberpunk is anything to be proven of that, of what happened with the launch of that going cross platform, cross generation platform, there was, I think that one of the things that people were most pissed about is that obviously it's only dropping on Xbox and PlayStation at launch, not PC, which is, I think, is a normal thing.
Yeah,
for Rockstar Games.
Yeah, I was about to say that too. That's how the last GTA was. So, I mean, it's just a precedent, I get it if you're a PC gamer, but also if there's a precedent set, like, you shouldn't be too up in arms. People just want to be mad about everything, and I'm of the mind of just be happy it's coming. We never thought this would
be
come.
happy with what you get.
Yeah, just be happy with it.
Fair enough.
Well, the fact that we have to be happy that we have to wait till 2025, and look, to me, there is no other game that is going to be able to top this for that year. Like, this is already game of the year of 2025.
Oh, yeah.
It have to be like God of War Ragnarok sequel level of something to beat this. Like, Red Dead only lost game of the year because God of War came out the same year.
Yeah.
To me, the only way that, like, all other studios just need to push their like crappy games that year, for GTA 6, because they know they're gonna lose. Just consider 2025 a wash year for you.
A loss. Straight away a loss.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There's no way. It's I mean, didn't GTA 5 lose to Last of Us?
Did they?
Actually,
no.
Did they?
They might. I don't remember.
I
don't remember.
I don't know. Last of Us. I mean, Last of Us is a good game, but like, did they lose to GTA? Did GTA 5 lose to Last of Us? That's gonna be crazy.
I am checking right now which one. I don't know what it was. 2013. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto 5 lost to
That's
Last of Us.
crazy.
Yeah,
I mean,
Last of Us is a great game though.
So unless you have something that can top that, which I don't know if there is anything. But what you just said, Last of Us got released and beat GTA 5, so we'll just have to see.
Yeah, that was the first one. So yeah, it could. Last of Us 3. It would have to be. It would have to be.
Yeah.
Has to be something on that type of scale.
Yeah.
That to beat it. That's the thing. Yeah. So
Legend
I
of
think
Zelda:
you're right.
Tears of the Kingdom 2.
Even then, I don't think Legend of Zelda has that. As much as I love Tears of the Kingdom, I don't think the sequel to for the Switch or whatever console Nintendo might have at that point would be able to beat GTA 6.
The Super Switch.
Fortnite 2.
Yeah, the
Fortnite 2.
Switch. Why have they never made a second Fortnite? Like, come on, guys.
There's no need to with that game. I mean, let's get real. I mean,
wait a minute. Fortnite Plus, you can play with no ads. It's like a premium service for Fortnite. They start putting ads.
Oh yeah.
So
that would be so bad.
It already is a walking ad for all these different platforms.
It is.
All these different media.
Star Wars, Family Guy, Invincible, Lego.
Dragon Ball Z.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z.
Attack on Titan. I mean, you could just keep going on.
It's still to this day, it still boggles me of like how originally that game was going to be a zombie game.
It was.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Yeah, apparently it was going to be. You still had like the build mode, like that was still the basis, but it was meant to be like a zombie horde mode. So you have to build your base
like
up.
Survival.
Yeah.
Can we still do that?
It was basically supposed to be. Well, it's basically supposed to be like Call of Duty Zombies, but from a third-person perspective.
And you could build
like it's survival.
So like Call of Duty Zombies mixed with Minecraft.
Essentially, yes. In a nutshell.
Like I think if you go on YouTube, you can just go back and see the original trailer.
I kind of want to do that. I think I'll do that after this recording.
And whoever made the decision, like, nah, screw that. Just do this thing called Battle Royale, and we're gonna milk every single franchise that comes out into this game.
And hey, hats off to them for that. They accomplished it, and then some. If we're being honest,
they've been doing like concerts and stuff too in Fortnite, which is so crazy.
I know
it is.
What was it, Eric? But yeah, basically, Naughty Dog is probably the only one that could beat Rockstar for Game of the Year. Not sure if they've even announced the next game.
Did Naughty Dog announce something? Did they?
No, I think the only thing I know Naughty Dog is cooking up in the background is apparently the Last of Us multiplayer that has been going on for in development since the first Last of Us. They're making some kind of massive multiplayer game in The Last of Us, but it's been a rocky road to get it out.
I wonder what that's entails, because I'm trying to see, because I've watched the show, I haven't played the game, but I've seen some gameplay, and I don't know how that's a multiplayer game, unless like it's warring factions maybe,
or it could be like Elf 4D2, something kind of that style maybe.
Yeah, I could see it being something along the lines of that.
If you Google it, there's a concept image I think they dropped out, but it obviously doesn't really give much. But it looks like two people. I think it's two people and looking over the city, and it's just war torn. So never know. It might be they're trying to do something maybe like the day before.
Okay, I'm looking at this right now. Yeah, it looks like it might be like warring factions. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
probably.
But as Eric said, it would have to be Naughty Dog or I can't. The game that would have to beat GTA 5 would have to be an absolute mammoth.
definitely. Yeah, whatever beats GTA 6 has to be.
Yeah, and then if you do beat them, I don't think you have to make another game ever. I think you could just ride that wave for as long as you want that you beat Gran Turismo 6 at the awards. But let's get into the gaming awards.
Let us.
So first off the rank, how do we all feel that Baldur's Gate 3 took home the game of the year for 2023?
Who?
Okay. I mean, I've heard of it. I've seen some gameplay, and I mean, from what I've heard, everyone loved it. And I know it's like a very it's like a turn-based game, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
RPG turn-based. Yeah, it's like RPG turn-based, and I feel there was some like dice element to it or something. I don't know.
And
I'm trying to think. I watched a little bit of gameplay in it, and I was very much like, wow, this is a lot of information in this game. You really have to be paying attention to everything going on.
Yeah, you can't just, it's not as bad as Call of Duty is, you can't just whack it on and go, I mean.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, there's also a lot of if you choose a lot of different paths you can take, right? Like one thing can affect everything down the line. So
yes.
I don't know. I kind of like, games like that where, your decisions actually have impact and, it's programmed like that. I don't really like linear stories a lot.
Mm-hmm. To me, it depends. Like for I probably the one that the last game I was playing where I was so cautious about my choices was Cyberpunk, because I knew there's about 4 different endings, and I was like, oh well, fuck. But like it's good that Baldur's Gate 1 3. The fact it wasn't a it's not really a franchise. Like it's not a God of War. It's not a Spider-Man. It's not a really big IP.
Yeah. It's definitely something that people who aren't in the gaming sphere. Ty, first thing you said was who? Like, again, I don't know much. Like, I haven't
exactly what happened.
I haven't seen much gameplay. I haven't seen much, of it, and so.
It's got a lot of positive reviews. Yeah, it's got a lot of positive reviews amongst all like IGN, Metacritic. Like, it's highly acclaimed as a game.
All up there.
Mm-hmm.
But this game did also cause the biggest uproar with another game that was very high with IGN, Metacritic, everything, which was Spider-Man 2.
I know. Everyone was... on TikTok, everyone is pissed that Spider-Man won.
Yeah.
Or it's people defending Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. 1-0. Absolutely nothing.
But you see that at award show with some like with like movies. You see that sometimes where like, a movie will have 8 nominations and either win 1 or win nothing. Or win like best sound editing, which is nothing to rave home about. I mean, except for the sound editors, good for them.
Sound editors go off though.
Yeah, let's go. Listen, they're fucking hyped. They're fucking hyped. They did.
They're probably like all their other all the people who all were working on the movies. They're probably just talking mad trash to them.
Yeah.
They're like, we got the awards. You guys suck.
Yeah. It sounds like shit.
Yeah. So it happens, but it is definitely something that you look at and you're like, really? You won nothing and nominated for 7, 8 awards?
I can tell you exactly why it didn't win.
Why is that, Ty?
Tobey Maguire wasn't Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
the answer.
Yeah.
That's the answer. Like the internet's been searching fair. And I have it. I have the answer.
Right here. Ready to go.
Right here.
No, you have.
That is the answer.
No,
I have the answer.
It could have been whoever plays Miles Morales. Well, Miles Morales was voiced, so it could have been Andrew Garfield, and people would have been fine. I feel.
Or
Maybe
just give everyone what we want and give us multiple Spider-Man.
I mean,
yes.
They did have 2, but they could have had.
Make it MMO.
Yep,
make it an MMO. But you know what? That was a swing and a miss.
A swing and a miss.
Well, this is. Fuck. This does make a very. Now, Eric has said something in the comments on YouTube, which thank you very much, Eric, for coming past. That I have seen is one of the biggest reasons why Spider-Man didn't win anything. Was the fact that Spider-Man 2 is a very flawless game. It's done really well, story, everything, but it didn't bring anything new to the table.
Yeah, I saw a review from a guy on YouTube, and he was talking about how it was fun and he liked the swinging mechanics were much better, but nothing new was really added to it. It kind of felt like Spider-Man DLC.
Which it's basically just taking Spider-Man and putting a new coat of paint on it, touching up here and there. That's essentially Spider-Man's 2 whole deal. And if they added something different mechanically, if they made gameplay a little bit differently, if they had, just something different that made it different from the original Spider-Man game, it might have had a better shot. But overall speaking, I mean, it's not a bad game to add a new coat of paint on it. But at the same time, you got to kind of think okay, yeah, there's a new coat of paint on it. It looks good, all that good stuff. But what more does it bring versus I could just go play the first Spider-Man game and essentially get the same thing out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better graphics.
Wasn't really. Yeah. Better graphics, new characters. That's really about it. But like I said, don't get me wrong. It well deserves all the praise it got. But I feel like if they would go to make, which I have no doubt that they will, when they go make Spider-Man 3, I think they've really got to do a lot of fresh coat of paint to it and rebuild a couple of things into that third game.
Definitely.
1,000%.
Yeah. Which will be after the new Wolverine game, which I'm so curious to see.
Yeah,
I wonder what
interesting to see what they do with Wolverine, because there's so many directions you could go with him.
Yeah. And how bloody it's going to be. Man has fucking claws.
Yeah, you can't. It has to be M rated. It can't be like T or something like that. It's got to be M.
Yeah. No.
Surely.
Has to be. Well, the other awards, which another game that took a lot of awards home, which it was also well deserved, which took home best game direction, best narrative, best art direction, was Alan Wake 2. Yeah. That took all that home.
Tyler.
Yeah, what?
No, that's the. I mean, Alan Wake 2, again, game I've only seen played. I haven't personally played it myself, but totally deserving of all the awards it's gotten. Like, 100% agree with that. Like, I had seen those on the post when I looked through, and I'm like, yeah, that 100% makes sense.
That deserved it.
Deserved it. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Which I haven't played Alan Wake, but I do know that there was so much hype going into this next game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
a lot of people were really excited about it, and I mean, I know it's a beautiful game, like visually, like it's a visual masterpiece.
Yeah, so it deserves all three it got.
No question.
This next, and the next one, this didn't surprise me at all. Best score in music, Final Fantasy 16.
Oh yeah,
Baldur's Gate 3.
I'll get you that. Yeah,
Baldur's Gate.
Final Fantasy always has great music, so that doesn't surprise me at all. A lot of people like just listen to the soundtracks like on their car rides. I'm not surprised.
Connor did have one single tier that Tears of the Kingdom didn't get.
Well, listen, the soundtrack for that was amazing. It's like, yeah, I'll go on about that if we talk about best adventure game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just Connor had one single tear that it didn't happen.
Just one, but it was
the tears of Connor.
But it doesn't make sense. But I'm okay with it losing to like Final Fantasy, as long as like it's a deserved game. I won't be mad. Like, you know. Well,
would you be mad that Cyberpunk took home an award, being well deserved, which took on best ongoing game?
Yeah, to me,
you mean
that's
ongoing, as in you can't walk through walls anymore.
Yeah, that's what they mean by ongoing. They patched it up so much. It's an actual game.
They have
now.
put so many Band-Aids on that game.
That's what they mean by ongoing. Like, it's like when someone gets like, you know, hit by a car or something, and like, you know, they could still like, you know, breathe through a tube. It's the best ongoing game, but
it's still breathing.
It's still breathing.
Yeah, we can still get a bit out of this.
It's the best non-plug pull game.
But in all seriousness, it has made strides from where it was.
Oh yeah,
it has. It has made strides. Now they came
shot
themselves in the
game.
Yeah, like they shot themselves in the foot by releasing the game when it wasn't finished. But they also
so much not finished.
Yeah, but also like now it's actually a decent game and it won an award. So I'm a little humbled because like, okay, they went from this game that just had so many problems to now, oh man, they won an award. Like I commend that. That takes a lot.
Yeah. Well, they stuck to their vision. They stuck, you know, they was it the CEO came out and there was an apology and then they said that they were going to stick to it. And it's funny, you play it now, they've added so much DLC to it, free stuff, upgrades to it. And I was saying to a friend the other day, he was like, oh, you know, what game should I stream for what next coming out? I was like, Cyberpunk. I feel like if you go back now, you'll have such a good time. For fresh eyes to it.
Yeah, fresh eyes. I agree.
Yeah.
But I kind of wish that like there would be somebody who's streaming like the very first version of the game where they're just phasing through walls and just everything is completely broken. Like one streamer has it where it's like the pristine version and the person below him is the one who's playing like the very first version.
There's definitely an audience for that. That
100%
that stream will definitely get some people watching.
Yeah, well, it's Grand Theft Auto for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Sure,
it's true.
Well, and I was
it's ongoing.
Say, like people are mad that people are mad that GTA's waiting until 2025. I mean, you don't want it to be released like how Cyberpunk was, unfinished and not as good. So waiting some time
hold on. It would be kind of funny. You were just like
going
to rob somebody and you just phase through the building and just fall through the map. It just happened. Like it would be funny, but at the same time, you don't want to do that, especially as Rockstar. You don't want to. You don't want to be releasing stuff.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it's good for the bit, but that's about it. As a company, you don't want to do things too much for the bit.
Just enough.
And I forget that Red Dead got delayed.
Yeah,
Red Dead got delayed by a year, and I was so pissed because I think it was only like a month out of its release date. I know. I wasn't happy because I was like, I took days off work. I was like, yep, give me Red Dead, give me a freaking cowboy. Yeah, we're delaying it for a year. Oh.
Be happy they're delaying it for a year. That means it's not going to be Cyberpunk 2077.
I know, which I was happy about. Actually, I forgot to mention earlier, I did see on TikTok, it was like Work Smarter Boys, not harder. And it was like GTA 6 is in 2025. If you got a girlfriend, make sure she gets pregnant that time. So you've got the time off.
Get the paternity leave.
Get the paternity leave for the game. And I was like,
oh my God.
Genuinely watch pregnancies increase.
I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like if it increases, then it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Oh, that's so
Grand Theft Auto 6 increases birth rate.
GTA 6 increasing birth rate.
I know that's when we get crossed the 9 billion.
There's an article. There's an article you won't find on New York Times.
Nah, but you hear it here first.
Hmm?
Yeah, we're here for the scientific birth rates.
We're here to bring you the truth.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Mr. Mark My Words.
Welcome.
Thanks for popping past. This is another. This is one of my friends who's absolutely been killing it lately. He's streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays, and he's up to the 1100 on YouTube at the moment.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 1100.
Yeah,
I've been watching his stuff. His stuff's also really good. He's great at what he does, and he's slowly climbing. He's making the climb.
He'll overtake me at one point. I have no doubt. But no, the other awards, the gaming awards, was that best audio design was from Hi-Fi Rush, which I didn't.
Who?
Yeah, I was.
Move on.
Hey,
That was another. Best performance, Neil Newborn, Baldur's Gate 3, of course. Games for Impact. I don't know what that was. Anyway,
I'm guessing it's like
you?
social wise. I'm thinking social wise, like social
Maybe
impact.
probably.
oh,
Like
yeah.
it's good for you. You learn from it.
Maybe.
And best
Well,
indie game, Sea of Stars.
What was that?
I have no idea.
Not.
It's an indie game. Of course, you're not gonna know what it is. Like, it's just
I don't know.
It's an
I've heard of
indie
some
developer.
indie
It's a
games.
smaller game.
I've heard like an indie game I can think of right now is Inside. Like that's an indie game. So I mean,
yeah, you're right. You're never going to hear of an indie game when you look at the awards. It's like, yeah, what the fuck was that?
But there's also like
everyone else is clapping.
Yeah,
it's like
I
a
know,
golf clap. You're like, oh yeah.
yeah, good for you.
You made it's like watching little kids soccer. Like, you don't care who wins. You're just like, yeah.
Talk about Johnny. Trip him.
it's for the fun of it.
Connor's the one guy yelling in the background of the kids' soccer game.
No, I'm reffing it. Are you kidding me? I'm calling slide tackles. I'm giving yellow cards. Yeah.
Twist his dick off.
Oh God. Jesus.
Kick him in the chins.
Yeah, twist it. That's it. Oh my God, this is a UFC fight.
Oh my God. Oh.
We're gonna be terrible.
Such a random thing to yell at the UFC.
You're
Oh
terrible.
God.
Connor's just the referee taking all the abuse.
Oh God.
He just hears all these people screaming this stuff, and he's like, "Dude, they're 5." Like,
I know.
Now we also heard Kratos give the biggest shade to Call of Duty and destroy them in the matter of 2 seconds.
I mean, fully deserved. Let's just say that.
What did he say?
He goes, it was along the lines of like, he was referencing his speech from last year because he went for so long. So they started playing the music to get him off. And he's like, oh, don't worry. My speech is going to be shorter than the Call of Duty campaign this year. I was just like,
yikes!
oh,
Dust left a bite on that one.
yeah. Just take the award. See ya.
Fully deserved, though. I mean,
it's true.
I will
make better games, Call of Duty. Like, we loved you in 2011. You haven't done it. What have you done for us since?
made games.
That's it.
Made
Just
games.
pump out the money machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you guys want,
They
right?
made a battle royale, just like everyone else.
Exactly. I mean, capitalized off of something that was big on another game. You know, like that's all they've done.
Yeah. And the thing, well, I think the last one I played where I really enjoyed the story was the last World War II, the one they did. Not World at War. It was. I think it just said WW2, didn't it?
Yeah, WW2.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that was the last.
Yeah, that's a great story.
But the rest have just been, yeah. Let's go play the multiplayer, and now I'll be done with it. But yeah,
so
and obviously,
I was gonna say it's also kind of funny because I'm looking at the indie game thing, but they also have best debut indie game.
So
they have best indie game, and then they have best debut indie game. It's like, okay, so
I wonder what the difference.
Just put them in the same category.
Yeah,
like came out this year.
Maybe. Okay. All right.
Yeah, but something like that is so weird.
I think it's just one of those things that just like obviously like the Oscars, like it just breaks up so much of different categories.
Fillers, yeah.
Filler awards. Like I'm all good that these indie games have won these awards. Will I ever play them? Probably not.
Yeah. Well, did they do like what they do with other awards and like put them like have categories that weren't announced on stage and just have them like, you know, put on a list? Because they do that with other awards shows as well, where they're like, these aren't important for TV. We'll just put them somewhere else.
Probably. There's probably a few like small stuff like that, but
well, I think one another criticisms that there was for the Game Awards was developers only had a screen time of like 15 minutes or like 20 minutes compared to all of the TV announcements and the trailers. Like these are awards for gaming, but people who actually made these games didn't have enough screen time and talk about the actual game.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they want to do advertisement over anything else.
Oh yeah, money talks. You're gonna please your advertisement.
Money's the ruler. They don't get, okay, cool. Get your 20 seconds of screen time. Too bad. We're putting up our trailer for the next game.
Money talks and sex sells.
Yeah, that's why I'm not topping. That's why I'm not tapping in enough on my podcast. I need more of that. That'll really boost the numbers. One of the highlights of the Gaming Awards, which was the one I think is a love letter to the fans, which has shocked so many people that this is actually free, and that is the brand new trailer for God of War Ragnarok Valhalla.
Yeah,
and it's coming out in 5 days. It's
crazy.
Coming out at cyberpunk speeds.
Yeah. This is one of the surprising ones. I was like, holy shit. And it's free, and this DLC will be longer than the Call of Duty campaign.
That's crazy that a DLC is longer than a regular game. It's wild.
Imagine how long it's gonna have to take to download, though.
Should take 10 years. It take till 2025 to download it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 130 gigs.
It's gonna go on there, like on your download thing, and it's gonna say like 1 year and 365 days. It's like what?
9 minutes.
Yeah. That's how long it's gonna take, and by the time it was like, oh, this game will finish downloading, and also your Grand Theft Auto 6 game will be arriving at the same day. But have you guys finished God of War? Have you guys Ragnarok?
I never got big into the God of War franchise.
No,
never got big into it. I've heard good things and I've watched the playthrough, but
yeah. Same here.
No, it's just not my style.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Oh, that's fair. Like it's no. So I picked it up because I played the original trilogy, and I can fully understand why it won Game of the Year. Everything they've done with it, and they've done so well to make this a free DLC. And from the trailer, it looks like you're getting something actually fully decent from it too.
And I mean, it's a free hit, like for them, it's free, and it's for fans who already have the game. That's great. In my opinion, it's a win-win for everyone.
Right. Yeah, and it just shows you not everything has to be paid. Not everything has to be $30 for $30 for the DLC for this Game Pass. All that to make money. It shows the fact that things are made to a love letter. Like God of War Ragnarok was actually delayed. Its release date and time frame was actually delayed because Christopher Judd, who plays Kratos, I can't remember if he got an injury or if he was sick.
I thought it was an injury.
No, it was an injury, and they actually delayed it so he was healthy enough to come back and do the lines to finish up.
Well, that's nice.
Really cool of them. For a AAA game to do that.
But also, that's your main guy too. Like you gotta.
Yeah.
Like your main character, like you gotta.
He makes the game essentially. His voice is the game. So if he's not there, I mean, you could probably find somebody who could be very close, but it's not him.
AI. Just have AI do it.
Oh God.
That's true. He does only half his dialogue is just groans and grunts. No.
Boy.
Yeah, boy. But that got announced. And how do we feel about the brand new Jurassic Park?
That looks crazy.
That's
like a fucking horror game. I think that's really cool.
Dude, if it's like a jump scare game, it's gonna be intense. Like
I like that it's not like a action game. I like that it's gonna be like horror elements. To me, that's like something that makes sense, but that I wouldn't have seen, like have predicted.
So it's gonna be more horror survival than like here's Jurassic Park, the movie game.
Yeah.
I think this looks like to me Alien Isolation. Like they're doing that same kind of concept into this.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
Especially because the movies kind of had some of that horror element too, like that. It just showing on screen the kitchen scene is so iconic from the first movie. The fact that you're gonna be in that scenario probably.
Well, that's the thing, and I'm glad it's not an action game. I'm glad they're doing like this, and even the slight screenshots look very Alien Isolation, being quiet around corners, quiet around here, but just hearing John Hammond's voice at the beginning of the game, and it looks crisp.
Yeah.
But real quick, we'll just have to say goodbye to Charles. He's going to head out.
Charles. Deuces, buddy.
So, thank you for coming on, man.
Appreciate
Always
everyone.
Appreciate it.
Lee, thank you again for having me. I wish I could stay longer, but unfortunately, I got some family stuff got going on. But appreciate it, guys.
That's all right.
See ya.
Peace.
See ya, man. Which I think this is going to release date for late 2024.
Okay, so another year to
2025.
2025.
I'm telling game developers, if you're saying late 2024, it's 2025.
Yeah.
Like if you're gonna say late in the year, just say the following year. It just makes sense. Like what? It's gonna come out December 31st instead of January 1st.
Or November. I mean, a lot of games release in November, Ty. That's kind of the big time for games. Is November not part of the year?
I'm saying if you're going to release in November of 2024, say you're going to release in November of 2024 rather than saying end of 2024.
Yeah, I really do hate that. I'm like, just if you're sure, just make the release date later. If you just
there's no game developer figured out like, oh, if we put it really late and then we're like, oh, hey, it's live. Like people are gonna get stoked.
Yeah, if you imagine that. Imagine saying, "Oh, this game's not coming out until 2026," and then you turn around and go, "Actually, we're dropping it January or December 2025. It's coming. It's ready early.
Mm-hmm.
We've got it for you. Get your pre-orders in now."
Yeah.
So you want to set the expectations for far away and drop it sooner. Rather than say late
drop it the intended day. Like that could just be the intended day, and then you just build more hype by saying, "Oh, it's not coming out till 2026." Psych. Yeah. December 2025 is happening, and that was the plan to begin with.
Well, that's exactly right. And leading up to that for like 2 months, you post nothing. You post nothing.
Silence.
On any social media, and then you just go and you just do what Grand Theft Auto 6 did: drop a tweet.
Yeah,
I'm like, and that's it. But no, that's Jurassic Park Survival will be coming on PlayStation, Xbox, and another one we got, which I don't really know a whole lot how it's going. A new Blade game.
Yes.
Have we ever had a Blade game? Like Bethesda, though. I mean,
PlayStation. I think there was obviously a PlayStation tie-in game for the old movie.
Okay, are we gonna count those though? like shovelware?
Do they count? Because
I mean, there's some movie games that don't count, in my opinion.
Well,
some, not all, but some.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yes, Blade was on PlayStation 2 or something. Yeah. And those tie. So I can't think of a good movie tie-in game that's actually been decent.
I would say the old Spider-Man games from when they were released in the 2000s. I played Spider-Man 2, I think. It was kind of janky, but it was at least fun.
That's very true. And you had Bruce Campbell narrating it.
Yeah.
It was like, no, you died again. No, don't do that. Just swing into this.
Also, Harry Potter, 1 and 2, Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
I played that on the PC, and I love that game. So,
I mean, you can basically say you can basically say any Lego game because they're basically making the movie adaptation, but they're just making silent films.
Yeah, but it's a little different.
Yeah, but in saying that,
the fact that they could tell the story without saying a freaking word is amazing in and of itself.
And it makes sense. Makes 100% sense. But are you being who's developing this? I totally forget. They're also making an Indiana Jones game too, which we've heard nothing about except for when it actually maybe it was at the Summer Game Awards. They dropped a trailer for it, which was a really small one, but we heard nothing.
I think. I think
GoldenEye. Sorry,
I saw that.
GoldenEye
is a good point. I knew there was one big one that I was missing. GoldenEye is a great game. I think it's the nostalgia and the multiplayer really helps it too.
Yeah, and the fact it also got ported on that you could display it on the computer.
True.
Yeah.
on an emulator. But yeah, that's sorry to go back here. Nothing about the Indiana Jones game.
I mean, with Blade, I mean, a half vampire hunter. I mean, just saying that as a video game is great, and hopefully Marvel does a good job, with it. I think they could. And
I think they could too, 100%.
Yeah, I think Bethesda could do a good job with it, depending what type of game. Like, I hope it's not like Midnight Suns, like the XCOM kind of style. Like, I would like something like Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking it's going to be like.
Yeah. I would rather about that, but that was a surprise because this is nothing to tie in with Spider-Man and the Wolverine. This is separate.
Yeah.
Fully separate. And this next one, I am so curious on what this is going to take shape and form. So this is Overdose, and this is Jordan Peele is also working with him with Hideo. I've just butchered his name.
Yeah, he's done Us. He's done. I think it's what's it called, Look Up or something, and also has done
Death Stranding.
Yeah,
Death Stranding. Now this is his next big project, and I'm so curious to know how this is going to come out. Because look, for anyone who's watching us, look at the trailer.
It looks wild, and if you've got Jordan Peele behind it, who went from funny man, who is still funny, to one of the best horror directors of our time, it's going to be a good game.
I know. It's funny because you say, like, one of the best horror directors, but all I see him is in those shorts TikToks he does on all those old shorts he did, I think, for maybe Saturday Night Live with his friend.
From Key and Peele. The show was called Key and Peele.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
It was on Comedy Central here in America. It's a great clip. Like, he did many sketches. They're all super funny too.
Yeah. Like, you go from that to horror.
It just goes to show, like, I don't know, the diversity of talent you can have.
Mm.
And didn't the guy who's making this game as well do PT, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he did.
So
yeah, so it's two horror gaming and horror movie guys coming together to make this. So this is probably will have the biggest this is probably the biggest question mark coming out of
definitely
coming out of this. Is like, how's this going? What shape and form? Because I think this hasn't got a release date. It's probably the same thing, late 2025, 2026. But that's, that was something I was very surprised about. I was like, ooh, you're going to cook up something good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this won't be a miss. This will be, at least story-wise, it won't be a miss. Who knows graphics, all that, gameplay, but at least story-wise, it's going to be good.
Yeah, exactly. Also, we also got the brand new Dragon Ball Z Sparkling Zero, which is technically Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
Okay.
Did you guys ever play that game?
Oh, no. Love it. It's one of my favorite games I remember playing as a kid. Like, just going over to one of my friend's house who had those games on his PlayStation 2, and we'd play them all day. Like, whenever we went to his house, that's all we did.
Yeah, 100%. My disc got so bad, I had to buy a new game. I had to buy it again. Yeah. Which we got the trailer for this. It was a very short trailer. Interesting. I don't know. They say Sparkling Zero is going to be for. I don't know if they're going to do say Budokai Tenkaichi for America and Europe audiences, and they're going to keep Sparkling Zero for just Japan and the Asian market.
Yeah.
But as you know, trying to get on with like the name trend, I go, I don't know what Sparkling Zero is, but I know what Budokai Tenkaichi is. And I'm down for this. After what was the last one? Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Yeah.
Which was like an RPG.
Yeah, RPG more style game than anything.
Yeah, I played it for about an hour and I was like, nah. That's a no from me.
Yeah.
And I think too with a game like the Dragon Ball, the Tenkaichi games, those are very fun games. But a lot of people give a lot of crap. Like being a guy from the fighting game community, people give a lot of crap to arena fighters because it's like, it's not a real fighting game, it's not competitive, there's so much that can happen. You can do infinites and stuff. I'm like, that's not the premise for this. They are not they're not looking for it to become a competitive fighting game. They're doing it because they know that there's a huge fan base for Dragon Ball who love the characters and want to be able to use that character to beat the crap out of another one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid. I like
Chef's Kiss.
Yeah.
Chef's Kiss. Like, look at Xenoverse. Xenoverse did so well because of the fact you can make your own character in it and then beat everyone else. But no, that got announced, so I'm super stoked for that. We also got confirmation that The Last of Us Season 2 is coming in 2025.
Yep.
Thank God. So good. Such a good first season.
It's like I was talking to someone the other day. I'm like, I can't believe it actually came out this year.
I know.
Like it feels like it was a lot longer ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad that video game movies and TV shows have gotten so much better over the last I would say 3 years or so. So as long as they keep the same showrunners and all that and work in tandem with the people who made the games, it's going to be good.
Yeah, and The Last of Us is proof of that because it was still written by the creators.
Exactly.
We just have to accept the fact that when that new season drops, obviously we know that Joel doesn't return for season 3.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert to anybody who's not aware.
Yeah.
No. And that episode is going to be so rough to watch.
I might cry.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will do live reactions to that.
I mean, with the kid in that which episode was it? With the kid, the deaf kid.
Oh yeah,
that whole episode. Yeah, like the fact that they did that and how sad that was. Like, and I hadn't seen the show, so I hadn't played the game, so I didn't know that was coming. That shook me. I was like, oh, okay, this is what we're doing here. This is a good show. But yeah,
it was. I don't usually watch zombie shows. Like I never got into The Walking Dead.
Don't do it anymore. It's only good for the first 5 seasons, dude. Like it's a lot of filler. That's all I gotta say.
That doesn't surprise me. But this I watched and I was just like hooked. So hooked in the first 10 minutes. And every single episode that came out, like this is just insane. And the episode with the two homosexual guys.
Oh, what a great episode. Like they didn't even need to do that and made such a good story. Such a great story. It was so sweet. Loved it.
I think it's only like a note. I think it's only a note in the game, and that's it.
Yep.
My favorite was seeing the side by side with the games, and like you were talking about the first episode. What I loved about like the side by side was they used some of the shots from the game in the show. Like they recreated the shots for the show, and I love that they did that. I really love that they did that, and it's just a cool thing to see that directing in video games can translate to directing in a TV show or a movie.
And done right.
Done right.
Also, I think another reason why it's been booked to 2025 is because Pascal Pascal is such a sought-out actor as well. And it's rumored that he's going to be joining the MCU.
That doesn't surprise me. Nothing surprises me anymore.
Now, if you said like Kanye West was joining the Marvel Universe, I'd be a little more surprised. But
oh god, I can't imagine who he'd play. Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
He's Kanye West.
Galactus.
Oh gosh.
Kanye West Galactus.
It makes sense though, right?
I'm a big gay fish.
Just a fucking movable, undefeatable,
just imagining
mass sucking planet
as Galactus is just such a funny vision that I didn't know I needed.
Well, with AI, you can just type that in and be like Galactus, Kanye West,
Kanye West.
Yeah, and then you have Kim Kardashian as the Silver Surfer.
Listen,
no,
that might sell. That might sell. That might sell. Like genuinely, that might sell.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a Marvel game Kanye West edition?
Oh no! It would just be about his albums.
Oh, I'm still stuck on Kim Kardashian as the Silver Surfer because now I actually want that.
I want this game.
Yeah. Print that money now. Also, now we also got an announcement that Twisted Metal 2 Season 2 has been announced officially. Mm-hmm. Did you guys watch this?
No, but if it's on Peacock,
I did watch it.
Watch it because I have Peacock.
I did watch it. I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely pays homage really well, and there's great storytelling in it.
Is that Anthony Mackie?
Yeah, it's Anthony Mackie and the guy who does the voice of BoJack Horseman, Lego Batman. He's done the voice of Sweet Tooth.
I also see Stephanie Beatrice too from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So
yes.
I think I need to check this out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just as crude, just as brutal as the game, and like the last.
I was gonna say I love the detail in it. Like they paid such attention to the theme of what Twisted Metal is about.
That's good.
And the last episode has Twisted Metal all over it. All over it. Like the last episode is just pure Twisted Metal, and sets up for season 2 really well. And basically Twisted, I think it's the tournament is going to be season 2, the actual tournament.
Yeah. Then they drop the game.
Yeah, I can't. We're due for a new Twisted Metal game.
Coming out in late 2025.
It will be a bundle package with Grand Theft Auto 6.
I don't think
low-key, if they had the Twisted Metal truck in GTA 6, I'd be very happy with that. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
No, it'd probably be in Fortnite before that happened.
Could you imagine Sweet Tooth in Fortnite?
I can, actually. That's the problem.
Yes.
You can say, can you imagine blank in Fortnite? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
there's no franchise that would not make it into Fortnite. You can put Bluey in Fortnite. and it would work.
Actually, who I did actually think of too, Maury from Big Mouth.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were talking Maury Povich, who does like Who's the Father things over here in America. Like you are not the father shit. That's why
Jerry Springer in
Jerry Springer.
Oh, that's true. Fortnite, anything equals money in pockets.
Absolutely.
Well, look, if Eminem can be in Fortnite, anyone can be in Fortnite.
Eminem was in it for like a half of a second. Like,
yeah,
he wasn't even really in the game.
Grande.
And still got paid a shit ton for that.
It's true.
So much money. The Weeknd is now too. I just saw that The Weeknd is about to do a set in Fortnite.
Yep, they're.
And they'll have Kanye West as Galactus.
Oh, that's a print money idea right there.
And Kim Kardashian Silver Surfer.
That's the one I really want. Is Kim Kardashian Silver Surfer.
What did you guys watch the Fallout trailer? I know it wasn't the Game Awards.
Not the trailer. Week. I haven't watched the trailer yet, but I do want to watch this.
All right. This is the next video game adaptation for next year. That's coming out. Fresh adaptation, I should say.
Yeah.
And this is Amazon Prime money.
Yeah. I mean, with how successful most of the original programming is successful. I mean, right now Invincible's coming out, and so far the second season's been great.
It annoys me that it's a split season.
And then you got The Boys coming out next year as well. I mean, Amazon Prime is on top of it, and I think they're going to do so well with Fallout. I have some doubts, obviously, but they're very little doubts.
No, I think it's going to be good.
100%. From the trailer, for someone who hasn't played Fallout, I never really got into it. I never really got into the Fallout franchise. But when I'm watching that trailer, I'm like, that just looks like the game. That just looks like frame for frame the game. And what's made me more confident in this show, actually, is that it's been partially written by Jonathan Nolan, Christopher Nolan's brother, who's also going to be directing 2 of the episodes as well, he's worked on the Dark Knight trilogy. He's worked on Man of Steel. He's got multiple different credits to his name.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, okay. I've got full faith.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Good. I mean, I mentioned it before, but I think video game movies and TV shows are just only going to get better now. I think the precedent has been set, and now it's up to everyone to keep up with that precedent.
I think so. Oh, do you think, like, I know right now we had the full rise of many years ago where the market got completely flooded with Westerns. And now, right now, we're having the full flooded thing of superhero movies, which I'm not complaining. But do you think that video games are going to be like the next flooded market to tap into?
I think
that.
So.
I would say so.
Especially with not the decline of superhero movies, I wouldn't say, but maybe the overabundance of superhero movies. I think something else that has to start to rival it, and I think that's going to be video game based.
You need in this type of world, like industry, you can only tell a superhero story so many times. You can tell a story about Civil War and like all that kind of stuff, all the superhero backgrounds and going into side plots with sidekicks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm on the market that I hope that they take these like unknown game franchises, smaller game franchises, and put them on a screen and make people want to play those games. It's like, oh, okay, Jack and Daxter. Like, if they were to put that and turn that into a series, like, people would go back. I think, and play through the games.
Exactly. Imagine that done by Illumination.
Mm-hmm.
The same people who did Mario. How good would that be?
I think this is Ty's traditional or not traditional episode mention of Jak and Daxter contractually. He has to.
Yeah. We have a sponsorship.
Glad he got that taken care of.
Yeah. No, it's not normally Jak and Daxter. It's usually Sly Cooper, but I just used that. That was the first example that popped into my head.
Sly Cooper. I have not heard anyone mention that game in so long. And that's actually that's a franchise that deserves
totally untapped franchise. Totally untapped.
Or even just a remastered trilogy box.
They did do a remastered trilogy. It was on the PlayStation 3.
Oh, they did.
They did that, and then they had the fourth game, and then they were like, we're done.
Yeah, but when was the PS3 like the main console? 2012? You know, I mean, that's 10 years now.
2010 to 2012, somewhere in there.
Well, that's also the sad thing, because that's the last time we got a Twisted Metal game, too.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
So what I think is going to happen with, they're going to take these large franchise, big story games, they're going to turn those into shows, and eventually they're going to get to a point where they're going to have to scrounge for other games to utilize and put into shows. And that's where I think these older franchise games are going to kind of rise up again, and people are going to seek, opportunity in it, because a lot of people are going to be like, hey, you should, oh, we would love to see this, we'd love to see that. Like, kind of hearing fans kind of talk about, oh, I would love to see this game as a movie adaptation. I'd love to see this game. You know what I mean? And hopefully those people who create the movies take that feedback as like, okay, yeah, we're doing good. And, there's ample opportunities to work with all these different franchises. So I think it could be the next big surge of movies, because it's just so different, because video games have that storyline for superheroes, but just such a different tone.
And majority, actually, 9% of all original stories. They're all fresh, different worlds every single time. And one I actually forgot to mention with Amazon money too is that we're also getting God of War TV show. Amazon's doing God of War. Yep. Amazon's doing God of War. And
I think we talked about that the last time we were on your show, that we wanted a God of War.
That's what we wanted. Yeah.
Yeah.
They heard our episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes.
We did.
No, fucking Jeff Bezos, we want our fucking check. Give us our fucking check for that. Give us our residuals, you bitch.
Jeff Bezos is specifically watching the Lights Camera Rant podcast. We know that for a fact.
Yeah. Hey up, Daddy Bezos.
Not to get your heart racing there, Lee, but
I would just, if you could just send me a residual check of 2.3 million, that'd be fine.
Is this like a sponsorship opportunity? Is this what you're going for, Lee?
And honestly, give Ty and Charles and I like 2% of that, and we'll be good.
No, I'll give you a quarter.
Listen,
I'll take.
I'm just saying. Hey, listen, Jeff Bezos, if you're watching the Lights Camera Rant podcast, you have an opportunity to sponsor an episode.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do it, and I'll even say your name every 2 seconds. And have it flashing in the corner.
Or you just have like a Jeff Bezos button.
It's
just like his face comes up on the screen. It's just like Jeff Bezos.
Yeah. Nah, just play the Bo Burnham song. Just play the Bo Burnham song.
Yeah.
If you know that.
Just use his face from South Park.
It's like I saw this video. It would be similar to, they had a Game Awards thing where it's like, and the award for blah, blah, blah. And they just played the clip of the guy saying Baldur's Gate 3. Every award. And so they're like, oh, and the award for Content Creator of the Year is Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay, 3.
But yours is just a button that says, and it's Jeff Bezos.
Every time. Did you watch, did you guys watch Halo?
The show?
The show.
Yeah, we talked about this last time. It was a long time ago. But what if?
Yes, we did. We got the brand new trailer for season 2. Season 2 trailer dropped. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. Can I be honest? I never finished it. I couldn't finish it. I know it
You
happened.
said that last time.
I couldn't finish it.
You said that last time, and then Lee told you the ending, and you said, "Fuck that show."
It was bad.
Like,
it was
in
bad.
that order. It happened.
It was bad. Like,
do you want me to take my helmet off? I can't hear you.
yeah, listen. What does it give you hope, Lee? Does season 2 give you hope?
No.
No, it didn't.
No.
The trailer didn't give me hope. I said last week was that with Last of Us, Fallout around the corner, and what's happened with the Mario movie is that they need to really, really step up for season 2. Like, they have to step up or this will be cancelled.
It's Paramount Plus though, dude. Paramount Plus is over here. Like, sports-wise, love it because they have the Champions League and some soccer stuff. But other than that, dude, like they had the Zoe 101 movie on there, dude, or Zoe 102, which was not great. Like, their programming has not been great, and
you know it's the stuff that American cares about when it's soccer is the main selling point.
I mean, that's the thing. But I hope they do, because Halo it's one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I've always wanted a good Halo movie series, and we haven't. I mean, we've never had it, but now that we have it, it's not good.
No, and I you see the ring in the trailer for 2 seconds. I was like, oh, good. So it's just like the show. First season, you only saw it for 2 fucking seconds.
Instead, we focus on some rando girl who we've never heard of or care about,
and dies.
It's basically
after he sleeps with her. Yeah.
Lee, why'd you have to give me this? I could have lived. I could have lived not knowing there was going to be a season 2 and just thinking,
we need you to know, Connor. You have to be in the know.
I could have been living in bliss knowing that, well, that was just a season of a TV show.
Well, that happened.
Well, it's happening on the 8th of Feb next year.
Are you?
Yep.
In early 2025.
This is coming, and the thing is, I said in my last week's episode that the fact this is coming out before Fallout, like if you don't perform, you're gonna be shit. Like you're gonna get so much backlash.
Yeah.
Well, we have one person who's giving backlash right now.
I mean, Lee's giving some backlash too. So
two people have given backlash.
I'm just the one who's. Like, Lee, I think you're more like, yeah, I didn't like this. This offends me. Like,
Connor's like, I give a fuck.
This like insults me beyond belief.
It's like, this is Connor's child. Like, he's so sad that the childhood is being ruined.
It'd be like if they made a horrible Pokemon, like, live action movie or TV show. Like,
Netflix show.
It would be a lot. Yeah. It would be like if Netflix fucks up Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like, it'd be on that level for me where I'm like, oh, okay. If you fucked up something so sacred and so good, you're done. Like,
Cancel
please.
It. Yeah.
Sit down.
Anyway, that's all I've got for. That's my Halo rant. For my semi-annual Halo rant, Halo TV show rant.
Semi-annual.
Well, here's the thing. You probably know this more than me, but Halo is like when they go see Halo or go Halo for the very first time, is it the Fall of Reach? Does that happen?
Fall of Reach happens before. Reach happens before. That's a prequel. It's because Reach was like the first like mainline defense for the humans. Like, if Reach fell, that's when you knew everything was fucked. So Halo Reach is that predecessor. So it doesn't have the actual Halo in it. It just shows the Covenant coming and sets up what happens in the main games.
Okay, because in the trailer it does show Covenant ships over Earth, and they say the enemies at the gates. So it looks like this looks like they're doing that.
Okay. So
if they
do
that, they're not going to Halo until season 3.
There's going to be like 7 seasons of Halo, and it's going to drive you crazy.
Just make it good. That's it. That's all I care about.
Connor's going to go to like the Paramount Plus office. And guys, just please.
Love your Champions League coverage. Thank you for Kate Apto and what you do there, but please improve Halo.
Stop fucking up Halo, please.
please sell your rights to Amazon. Actually, don't sell it. Give your rights to Amazon.
Yeah, don't make money off this. You don't deserve to make money off Halo.
No, because right now Amazon is looking like the gaming TV show destination.
Or HBO. I could see HBO doing a good job too.
Well, yeah, HBO did really good with Last of Us.
So they've done some good they have some good programs on.
You're telling me you don't want an Illumination Halo?
If they made it like adult wise, I wouldn't mind an animated Halo.
I would want to see a concept.
Yeah, I would have to see like what the characters look like.
Yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah, I would. I'd even take a Halo anime. Oh. Give me.
I'd be
give me that.
That'd be sick.
Give me a full length movie of that.
Definitely.
Now, another one we did get for the trailers is this new one called Exodus, and this has Matthew McConaughey starring in it.
Okay.
Which looks to be very similar to Returnal kind of vibe, space kind of style,
sci-fi RPG.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, that's if you don't hear that in the game, then it should not win any awards.
We'll get
if you don't
like that.
If you don't hear him, Matthew McConaughey go, all right. Let's get some aliens here. I will like.
That's how you activate the time travel stuff on it.
Yeah, dude.
That's how he activates it on his.
Yeah.
That would be funny. But
right.
No, that seems like an interesting concept because there's also going to be like time traveling dynamics in regards to like the gameplay itself.
Which it looked good. The gameplay was like, okay.
Listen, I'm totally on board playing as Matthew McConaughey. The only time in my life I'm ever going to be in control of Matthew McConaughey and the decisions he makes.
Yeah. It just seems like I was like when he announced it, I was like, that's not a game I thought you would attach yourself to, or like that's not what you would pick.
I feel like he would have fit in better in like a Red Dead Redemption.
That would have been good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god. I just Dutch. Oh, I just need some money. All right. Let's go get some money.
Alrighty.
I could see like with Red Dead Redemption, I could see like Western Celebrities Edition, where like they just all the DLCs are just different celebrities that you can add their storyline to.
With Kanye West and Kim Kardashian.
West. Kanye Western.
Oh, print that. Shit. But no, I guess like this also gives Interstellar vibes too.
Yeah, I could see that. Just from the the poster, I can see the Interstellar vibes.
And we also got a new trailer for Stormgate, which is a new RTS type of game, which is visually, like the gameplay stuff looks really good. And which one that's still kept going is No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
And No Man's Sky that, nearly was just as rough at dropping as Cyberpunk.
The fact that they're, they turned that around, because I remember how just shit on it was at release, No Man's Sky was. And the fact that they've, again, like Cyberpunk, kept going and, now are doing pretty good. That's just, you got to commend them for that.
I wonder how many times they're going to put no in the title of their games.
That's true. Well, the trailer for this, interesting enough, was half of it was a highlight reel of the very start of the game to all their DLCs they've dropped until now.
That's funny.
So that's another one where they committed.
Yeah.
But yeah, another DLC for No Man's Sky, which I picked up. I played it for a couple of hours, and then I was like, now I'm gonna get back to God of War.
Yeah. It's just one of those games.
Yeah. Was there anything particular that, with everything we've touched on for this episode, that you guys were excited for, or you're really looking forward to dropping? Like even the new Suicide Squad game.
Yeah, I saw that too, and that'll be interesting. I'm curious to see what they decide to do with that.
I mean, just the amount of characters you could play in that alone should be, make the game so much fun. I hope they make it so like you can find your own way out with each character, and not every character can help you get out, but if you play as a character, it might be harder to get out of situations. I hope they incorporate something like that.
I hope so too. I know, obviously, because the delay, the gameplay, I think it will be a good game. Like, it makes me think of like Arkham meets Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Ooh, Arkham's a great game. So if they can do that, then hell yeah.
That's the kind of vibe I'm getting from it. You will have this immense story, but you'll be working in that team aspect. And like, look, let's be honest. Like, the biggest thing in Arkham games is the story.
Oh,
that is the biggest weight into it. And the fact that you get to play as a Suicide Squad and you got to kill the Justice League.
Hell yeah.
And Brainiac.
Down for it.
I'm down for it.
I think, Suicide Squad. And was there anything else that you guys...
There was two games that like, for me specifically, kind of re-looking over all the stuff that was announced. The Brothers Tale of Two Sons remake.
Yeah, that got a bit of hype.
Yeah, because the game came out in 2013, and I remember watching a playthrough of this game. You basically control two characters with one controller, and it's just a very unique style, kind of like RPG-esque game. So I think it's going to be really cool to see what they do with the remaster, if they decide to change anything up. But it's a really cool storyline. It's just, these brothers who are, trying to help. It's a very simple storyline. It's these two brothers who live in a small village, and their father is very ill. And the only way to cure him of this, illness is they go to this life tree that's, hundreds and thousands of miles away, and they go on a grand adventure to go get this, life water from the, life-giving tree to, heal the father. And they have to go through all this stuff. So I think that game is going to be really cool to see what they do with the remake and how they clean up the graphics and everything.
When did it come out?
2013.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. 12 years later. Sorry, 11 years later.
Well, late 2025, so 12 years.
Yeah. Yes.
And there's also this, like, I've started seeing this a little more, not a lot, but games that kind of promote you to not like an education game, but like you're learning something as you're playing. Like you're learning a language, or you're learning how to do geometry, or you're learning architecture. You know what I mean? You're learning about things by playing the game. And Harmonium the Musical is actually going to be made accessible to deaf people, because they're going to do full sign language interpretation with the characters in the game.
Wow.
And so for me, I think that's a really cool way to learn sign language.
Yeah.
Because you would play through that story of the game. It's basically a music adventure game.
Yeah.
And so I think it's going to be really cool to see how they kind of turn that into its own game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I've never heard of anything like that.
No. That's really unique.
Can't wait for that. That seems really cool.
And the cool thing is it's fully subtitled, so you can literally watch the hand signs from people, and you'll see what the interpretation of it is. Like, you don't have to just listen for it. You could actually like watch the hand motions and read along. Okay, this is how you say this in sign language. Here's this expression in sign language. So, but I've seen a lot of games more and more. There's this other RPG game that basically they're like, you can learn Japanese playing this game, because we're having it be that you have to translate, what two characters are saying to each other. So you're a translator, and your main character only speaks one language. And so you're working on interpreting, and learning the language. And I think that's just such an unexplored like genre of gaming, to kind of teach a skill inside of a game.
Well, yeah. That's so different. And if they can make it as engaging to keep going along, like there's a lot of untapped potential in that. Because I know I can't remember. It starts with S. I can't remember, but you could basically create anything in the game you wanted to. You can make worlds, you can make music. I can't remember what it was, but apparently that I want to say maybe autistic. I think it's autistic kids. Like that did really well with them, like because how visually it was and stunning, and how engaging they could be, because they could create anything. God, that's gonna bug me. I think it started with S.
Yeah, I know which game you're talking. I can't think of the title, but I know which game you're talking about. But I think it's just such an unexplored opportunity, because there's so much out there that you could teach people about. Like I've seen there are some games that they have some that like, oh, it teaches you how to do game developing, and they have like, oh, here's a responsive AI that kind of shows you how to speak, but nothing in regards to like, here's a story driven game that is also teaching you sign language in the process.
Dreams, that's what it was. Yep. But yeah, that's right. Well, that's look at those simulation games, construction, and build a PC, and all of those.
Yeah, and like I think there's the structure for a simulation game versus like taking an adventure game and turning it into that style of, hey, I'm learning something while also enjoying the storyline of the game. It's just like, you could play a simulation game and like, you kind of figure out, oh, here's what I need to do in these situations. Here's why this isn't working. Here's how I fix it in the game. But in the story aspect of it, you're like, hey, I can actually I could turn off the subtitles and turn off the sound, and I could still follow along, because now I have learned a skill in like, oh man, I can interpret, not you're going to become fully equipped in sign language, but you can at least have the knowledge of like, hey, I can actually translate a little bit. I can actually understand sign language a little more, and it kind of piques curiosity.
Yeah, you can
it
learn
gets
the
you
basics.
to continue to play.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And that's a lot of people is like, I think we've moved so far away from it that people go, games are a waste of time, or why do you play so much? And I always find one of the funny things is when people are like, oh, where it's like, oh, go outside and be social. You're always on playing games. Like, yeah, yet I'm talking to my friends. I'm more social playing the game because I'm playing with my friends and other people around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and even like going into a completely different genre, like cooperative multiplayer games, where you see one thing on your screen, I see something else, and we have to work together to progress through the game. They had a game that was announced. It's called Big Walk, and it's supposed to be about like communication and solving puzzles, and it's the same developer who did the Untitled Goose Game.
Oh shit! Such a random game that's just blown up ridiculously.
Yeah, but like it's the same developer, so it's going to be a really, quirky game. But at the same time, it's cooperative multiplayer, so you're, learning teamwork and social skills. Like I've heard of places like there are some people who do it as a team building activity. They play cooperative multiplayer games as like a fun team building activity for their, for whatever job that they're at. I've seen it, like I've seen videos of it, of people doing it, and they do like, I forget what the name of the game is, but it's that bomb defusing game.
Yep. I can't think of it, but yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and they did that as like a team building thing for some like marketing company or something. And they just took videos of them doing it and people just panicking, and it was just like super fun. So, but I'm interested to see the way that this one goes.
Yeah, well, wasn't there I can't it was a cooperative game. You were in jail and it was two people and you had to get out.
A way out.
A way out.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I played with my one of my girlfriends. It Takes Two, which is a co-op game. We played it together, and she loved it. I loved it. I mean, anyone can play it, and it's super intuitive. It tells you which buttons to press all the time, so you aren't having to memorize buttons and all that. Thank
God.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes people don't know which buttons to press, and luckily it tells you, hey, press X for here. So
yeah.
But I think like in regards to it, but there's just such untapped potential in the cooperative multiplayer, and like these, I almost want to call them like experience games, like where you're experiencing and learning a new skill more than, it's not an education game. I'm not playing the game because I want to learn this. It's, hey, I think there's this interesting storyline, but there's also the opportunity of like, hey, they're doing everything in sign language.
I think that's a great idea. That's you could do so much with that.
Well, and how cool would it be if it catches on and they make like free DLC packs for like Tears of the Kingdom where the characters are signing,
Yeah.
You could have that. And now, it opens up a whole new world to the people who, are deaf and want to try these games and want to experience it. And they don't want to just read the subtitles. They want to actually feel more actively engaged.
The characters actually doing it.
Actually, sign, and they tell you what's going on and that kind of stuff.
That's untapped potential. It really is. Was there any other ones, guys? Was there any other ones that?
Those are really the only two that kind of
we've covered it all, man. I think we've covered it all for the most part, right? I mean,
and we're happy with Baldur's Gate winning.
Yeah, I mean, listen, as a Tears of the Kingdom person, am I sad about it? Yes, but did it win Best Adventure Game? Yes, so I can't be too mad. But honestly, I'm not too mad.
I think Yeah, I think a lot of the games on here, like, I know a lot of hard work goes into game development. I know it does. Now, outcomes can be very different, as with, Cyberpunk 2077 release versus, all different games come out at all different levels. And so I think, the games here definitely well deserved. And I know that there's this whole uproar with Spider-Man. Why didn't they win anything? And, we talked about, it's just basically Spider-Man, the DLC. And I think it has that same dilemma that Mario Galaxy and Mario Galaxy 2 have. Where it's like Mario Galaxy 2 is a great game, but it could also just be DLC for Mario Galaxy.
Yeah, it's just expanded. It's not really stepping it up.
Maybe one or two new mechanics. There's maybe one or two new ways the movement changes, but beyond that, the core elements are still the same.
Yeah, that's right. Dude, Baldur's Gate, because it did something new, I think it's well deserved that it's won Game of the Year.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man should have at least taken one award home. But saying that, as Final Fantasy, Alan Wake, they're all, yep, sure, makes perfect sense why they've done it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm a little sad that Bluey the video game didn't get on the ballot for Game of the Year.
Ah, I know. That should at least got a nomination.
Over this Resident Evil 4, versus the Bluey game.
Nah, you want Resident Evil. Sorry, no, you want Bluey. You want Bluey.
Yeah, you do.
Want Bluey.
Oh, look, guys, do you have any final words as we wrap up this Gaming Awards wrap up?
Just that, it's been a crazy season for games, and a lot was announced. Yeah, a lot of trailers dropped, and I don't know. I'm excited for a decent amount of things. Sometimes when things get announced, especially with video games, sometimes you're like, all right, I'm not gonna play this game, but some of these actually look decent,
Paramount Plus, please sell your rights to Jeff Bezos for the Halo stuff.
Please.
Jeff Bezos, give Lee a sponsorship.
Lee, I honestly can't wait for your review of Halo 2, of Halo Season 2.
It's coming.
Connor, you now know that there's a Halo Season 2.
Yeah.
I know.
Connor's gonna Connor hate watch it.
Yeah, hate watch it, and then we'll come on for the last episode, and we'll review
honestly, I will Lee, hold me to it. I will absolutely do that. Because I will have some choice words for that. I'll make notes for it too. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to hear the.
I was gonna have diagrams drawn out.
Yeah. Look at that.
This is where it went wrong.
Yeah. Episode 1.
Episode 1 in the first 10 seconds.
He takes his helmet off. Why?
Just one of many things. Just one.
Yes.
But
yes.
We'll divulge, though. We'll divert away from ranting.
For now.
Well, I will say, Lee, it's awesome being on the show with you. We love being on here with you and just talking and just having a blast and making jokes about Kim Kardashian being the Silver Surfer and
which she should be
all this other crazy junk that just randomly happens within these episodes. It's just a blast hanging out with you. And you finally came on our show.
Yes.
We got your episodes lined up. That's going to be releasing probably in a couple weeks because we have one episode before and then we have yours, which I'm very excited about the topic that we got to talk about.
It was a good episode.
Keep an eye out for it. Lee ended up coming on our show. We had a lot of fun with the topic that we chose, and it's something that it's in Fortnite. I'll say that. It's in Fortnite.
It's so many things. It's just
that's how we keep the people guessing. But it's fun to talk about the game of the year. It's fun to talk about, the Halo show and everything. And we just have a blast being here. So
I'm glad you guys could come on. It's always, like I said, it's never a dull moment, and it's always a pleasure talking to you guys. I'm glad I got to talk to you guys before the end of the year too, and see ya.
Yeah, and again, thank you for having us on, dude, and just congrats on the success. You know, we're happy for your success, and you know, we can't wait to see what you do in the future. You're only going to go up from here.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so.
There's always a place for you here in America if you want to come hang out.
Yeah, seriously, dude. Phoenix or Sacramento, come over. We'll hook you up.
That's so tempting, man. I'm so
You're
tempted.
a skip across the pond.
Yeah, just
really,
it's
a little bit big of a pond.
Yeah,
it's like a Galactus skip.
It's a huge scale.
Yeah,
I mean,
a lot of swimming.
Yeah, a lot of swimming. I think a 15-hour flight and a 17-hour time difference.
Yeah.
Something who's counting though?
Yeah, who's counting?
It's just I always find it weird the fact that if you leave, 8 o'clock in the morning Monday morning to go to America, you arrive 7 o'clock Monday morning, even though you've been on a plane for 20 hours or so. Yet when you come back to Australia, you skip an entire day.
Yeah, you skip an entire day. Like
Kinda
if we were to go to you, we would skip an entire day of our lives. But then coming back, you would have to relive the same day.
You would, if you left now, you'd be coming here. You'd be arriving on Tuesday.
That's fine. I don't mind skipping Monday.
Skipping a Monday is great. What are you talking about? Sign me up for the plane ticket now. Connor and I are on our way.
Yeah.
Done. Yeah. In-person podcast episode.
Dude, that's going to happen at some point.
Listen, no, we would love for you to come out to Game On Expo, like the Arizona one. The Arizona Retro Gaming Convention, man. It's a blast. Like, it's
if
just
you can
so
make it
much
happen.
fun. If you can
money.
Make it happen.
That's the thing. It's money.
Yeah.
And I know that plane tickets, and especially, it's just how far the distance is. Like, going to Australia is just so expensive for America.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and likewise. Going.
Yeah.
Because anytime I type in, it's like, this is $100 US. I'm like, okay, what's that actually Australian? 160.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about currency exchange rates too. Yeah.
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 So even whatever money we save up, you still got to save an extra $2,000.
Yeah. Well, and also, honestly, any of the retro gaming expos. I've been to a couple now, and there's a lot of really fun ones. I mean, I got the one coming up actually. I'm actually going to be gone for it for the first time, but they usually have one out here in Sacramento that I usually go to, and it's definitely smaller scale, but I've been to the one in Portland and Arizona, and those are like the two largest ones in America.
Oh, wow.
And so
you guys have so many expos, like, compared to us in Australia.
We have too many, man. We have too many.
Like you guys got one I would love to go to one day, and you have a podcast expo.
Yep.
A massive one. I always see everyone else to that. I'm like, I'd love to go.
Yeah,
Come on, Jeff Bezos. Come on, Jeff Bezos.
You have to do one.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos sponsorship.
Just sell us the rights for the God of War TV show, please.
Yeah.
Or give us our residuals.
That's all I need.
We made that happen, guys. We made it happen.
Yeah,
the collective unit here made it. You're welcome, Jeff.
Yeah, we did. Well, look, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much for coming on the show. As we said at the beginning, everyone go jump onto their show, listen to their brand new season. The links will all be in the show notes. And thank you for everyone who's come past on our live stream and listened to this episode. As always, until next time, happy ranting.
Thanks for listening to Lights, Camera, Rant. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. While you're at it, leave us a rating and review, and be sure to tell your friends. Until next time, happy ranting.